Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy P Farm Thinking Right out here in the lab, and I'm in the book. This is the cover of the book. We doing the non-violent contributions to civilization, breaking down some of the historical concepts that came directly from the non-violent civilization, aka the Commission Egyptians. But let's talk about it because it's the nice information and very informative that we should know as a people. So I'm teaching this. I got my hat on. It's teaching time. Let's go. Class is about to begin. Rightisms, 25 rules live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do, but it's rhetorical. If you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to might be true. This book right here. Oh, my Bible. Oh, just to another page. All right. But this book, you see the cover is gone. But you see these three guys right here? That's the educational backbone of our history by black men about black people. You got John Henry Clark, you got George Johnson, and John G. Jackson in the middle, big light skinned guy, and then you got my dude, okay, Dr. Ben. These three guys contribute more to black knowledge than we can ever imagine. So we owe them a great debt. I call John Henry Clark the master teacher. Dr. Ben is my teacher. And Dr. John Clark, my man Jackson, he's the writer of the book called Christianity Before Christ. So these are well-educated black men who put information out there for us to learn and use. Let's go. Let's talk about right now, right thinkers. Let's talk about astronomy, religion, and architecture. Those three things played a pivotal role in how they built their temples, why and where they built them. Okay, they knew a lot of things about nature that we don't even have a clue about, don't even pay attention to. Wow, we got other stuff going on. So yeah, we're so busy. Let's take out some history lessons right here. Let's go. Astronomy, aka the calendar, and astrology also played a major role in what the development of the myth, the ritual, and religion in the Nile Valley. That's where we come from. Okay, understand that. The impact that the Nile Valley religion and temple architecture had on the world civilization will be discussed. And they're going to break a few things down for you. I'm going to take my time. In the last chapter, it is important to establish the relationship between astronomy, religions, and architecture. That means they align the temples with the equinoxes of the summer and the winter solstice. Okay, and then the Hebrews, they did it with the moon, so they had all kinds of ways to track the sky, and that's what they did for a long time. They understood it. That made things go. So watch this. So they discussed in the later chapter many of the primary gods. They call them Netcheru, okay, of the Nile Valley. And these, let me say this again. This is all the breakdown of the human brain. The Egyptians was breaking down the brain mythologically, philosophically. They were breaking down how to use this thing right here, the most sophisticated piece of machinery known to man, and they had it mastered along with nature. They harmonized them. That's what I'm trying to show you right here. Watch this. This is going to be good. The nature of the Nile Valley was associated with the celestial bodies, and you have a primary component of temple architecture. They knew where the sun would be at a particular time and a day of the year. They built the temple in Aposet, and the sun, June 21st, the sun would shine through the whole temple and lighten up the back of the wall where the god sat. That was genius, and that's just one of them. They had it all laid out like that. Every temple was for a purpose and a reason. The temple was the body. This is the Holy of Holies. Come on, man. Sorry, too fast, too much. Just try to keep it to a minimum. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I got to try to contain it. But the temple architecture was the precise alignment for what? Of these religious structures to either the sun or the moon. Okay? And the four cardinal points: north, east, west, and south. The summer solstice at June 21st, or at the winter solstice, the December 21st. The spring equinox, again, all of them had the 21st day to break in a different season. And you got the autumn, the four seasons, four cardinal virtues. Okay? And you have what they call the star system, the constellations. That's these guys here. They gave them names, they gave them bodies. Okay? You see here, I like to show this one. This is the Gemini, right? The twins. The twins, know who this is? This is Shu, and this is Tough Nuke. He represents air, she represents moisture. Okay? So they had this thing figured out a long time ago, and they was way ahead of the curve. And I just had to learn the stuff, and it's amazing information because it sets the tone for what? This thing right here to start clicking the right way. Right thinking is having understanding and knowledge that you can manifest for yourself and see the miracles and the miraculous things that you can do yourself with what? With knowledge of self. That strengthens you, for real. Christ is good, but I take knowledge. All right, where we at? The purpose, what's this? The purpose for this exact orientation was to show the line that the temple is to be like the heavenly body in such a manner so as to capture the light or the spirit, what it is, light, spirit, consciousness of that body inside, you ready? The Holy of Holies. You walk in through the legs, come up through the body, come on up and go to the Holy of Holies, the most sacred place. Okay, that's what God dwells, okay, in the mind. Which the temple, not made with human hands. We built human temples, physical temples, but this temple is not made with human hands. It's all mental. And what's this? Where we at? Spirit. And this was the place where the priest or the king could meet what? You ready? The Spirit of God. Where? Face to face. Jacob said he fought with God and called it pioneer. You saw God's face. When you recognize God, that's all in your mind. Please understand that. So God's not physical. It's mental. You have to see him telepathically, mentally. You're not with these eyes, don't see nothing but the physical world. You have a third eye, the inner eye, the spiritual eye that connects you to God. The little thing called the pineal gland. They knew that. They gave you every way in the world to what? Activate the pineal gland so you can communicate with your higher self. That's why this is the most miraculous machinery known to man. It can get you to God. There are a number of temples in Upper Kemet. Hear that name? Kemet. That means before the white man. Sudan and Ethiopia, which they are all orientated to what? The bright star Alpha Centauri. That's the great temple of Apit, Asu, and Karnak is orientated, to the setting sun solstice. Setting solstice sun on June 21st. That sun gonna light that whole temple up one time a year. Now you build a temple to get that one precise thing. That's being anal. Okay, that's being real sharp. But you get the point made. And once they learn to understand it, the people live by it. And the temple of Edfu in Philae are also orientated to what? The sunrise. One would get the sunset, one would get the sunrise. That sun come up, bang, go right into the temple. The temple lights up. They had to build structures knowing that. Okay, so they was real versed in what they was doing and how and why they was doing it. They explained it gave you the purpose, the breakdown. I love everything about them. Why? They explain everything. I don't want to believe. No, I want explanation. I want knowledge. That's the difference. And when you had pyramids orientated, what the pyramids of the lower Kemet are all orientated on the east and the west axis to the sun. So that means you got it this way and they got it that way. It ain't going this way. It's going east to west. Very little is known as to what how the ancient commissions plotted the sun, moon, and the stars. But one of the great writers, my dude, Cheikh Anta Diop, he makes it very clear that the method of astrological observation of these architectural structures represents what? The existence of a sound astrological science that's been proven. They have it laid out. They gave us the breakdown. They got the blueprints. Diop further states that the number of monuments that are orientated in relation to the four cardinal points with an error always below 1 degree. Their perfection to 1 degree off, if any. To the true north, an element eliminates any notion of chance. They didn't haphazardly know. They didn't really know. They just happened to luck up on the note. It's precise and on point. That's the difference in knowing and believing. Believing you have a whole bunch of variations, a whole bunch of could be's, might be's, if that. No. Facts is, this is it. That's why I roll with this. Okay? I got some more for you. Don't worry. Oh, I got pictures. We're going to talk about my girl right here. You know who that is. If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Maya. Okay? And this is going to break down some more understanding about her. This is her glory. Now, she represents principles, concepts, philosophy. They gave her the identity and they showed her in a particular form for a particular way. Let's talk about that. Development of the symbols and the symbolic thought. Esoteric teaching is giving you something to show, but the real meaning is understanding what you're looking at from a different perspective. That's esoteric teaching. Exo is the outer. Everybody gets to the outer. I don't do outer. That's too easy. I'm going to get you some real information. Let's talk about my girl Mayat right quick. It says here, Mayat is associated with the 7 cardinal virtues. Did you know we have 7 cardinal virtues? I did. Okay. And the keys to human perfectibility. For you to be a good person, for you to perfect yourself, is 7 things you need to do. I've been practicing for 30 years, so I know them. Let's go. First one is truth. I claim myself as a truth teller. I come here to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. So I'm not on trial, but that's just how I conduct myself as a teacher, giving information. I'm only going to give you what I know. Okay. So first one is truth. Be honest with who? Yourself. Start with you. Those who lie to themselves will lie to anybody else. Understand that. So that directly affects you, the individual. I have not lied. I have not spoken ill. I have not did these things. You hold yourself accountable. Not you should not. I don't do commandments. Okay. I do accountability. That's the Mayat philosophy. First one is truth. Second, justice. She represents the scales. That's where balance is kept. But your brain has 2 hemispheres. She also represents equanimity. That means equal thought. Good, bad, pro, con. We was taught that. That ain't critical thinking. That's basic thinking 101. That ain't critical. Sorry, but you can use it in critical situations because it works all the time. Both minds, all the time. You can't go wrong. You use your left side, use the right side. If you use the right side, the left side getting cut out. Use the right side, the left side. So you got to use them equally. That's what you got them for. God gives gifts. And if you don't use the gift God gave you, he take it back. Why? Ungrateful. That's why. And you find out what you don't use, you lose. That's the fact. I'm not here making arguments and debate. I'm here to teach a concept and a philosophy and principle that's laid out already. It ain't what I say. I just follow it. You give information, you can do the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And next one, justice, being fair in all your dealings. When I was a drug dealer, I was the most fair. Why? I didn't rip nobody up. I was a fair drug dealer. I knew the game. I knew the rules. I played by the rules. And in the business-wise, I won. In the streets, I lost. I got caught doing what I do. Okay, moving on. Well, set up, moving on, but another big deal. All right, but bottom line, I changed. But even when I was doing wrong, I was still just and fair. That's my point with that. Next one. What's that? Priority. You have to prioritize your things in life. What's important to you? Everybody they want. What's priority for you? And the next one is, my favorite, harmony. Good, bad. You know the both. You got to make the decision based on what's best for you. That's harmony. Knowing right from wrong. And now you got to do what you need to do. That's where the benefit comes in. A lot of us do weakness to whatever the reason being, not doing the right thing. I hold myself accountable to do the right thing. Another one is balance. There you go, right there. If your mind ain't balanced, meaning you know this, you know that, you know right from wrong, good from bad. When you know that, and we do know that, all you gotta do is exercise. We fall short with the exercising of what we know to be right. That's when you got the what? Suffer consequences. Why? Because you did something wrong. You went against what you know to be, and you got to pay the price for that. God is big on punishment. Sentence for your death. Whoa, that's kind of harsh. No, that's just a fact. Deal with it. All right. And another one of my favorites, reciprocity. I always like this one because it represented infinity. That means if two people, if I breathe out, I'm giving you air. You take in the air and you give it back to me, I take it air. That keeps us surviving. That's two opposites working in harmony together. That's what reciprocity means. So it can go on forever and over. As long as we got a man, we got a woman, we got life continuing. If we just got all men and all women, we gonna be exterminated. What? Gonna get extinct. We can't repopulate. That's why. And he made it that way. Nature don't have a problem with nature. Man do. So don't get caught up in all that. Understand it. That's reciprocity. You got to have that in your life. And another one is order, routine. I'm pretty much anal about what I do, why and how I do it. You see the guys that sit and they do that real particular. And my man, the Equalizer, he portrayed that best than anybody. He's real meticulous about what he do, how he do it, how long it take, what he do. That's self-control. And people think that's crazy. No, that's just him. And see, he's a different dude. Okay, he know what he's doing. And he do what he do. What? To help others. Equalizer, okay? He taking the bad guys, he's equalizing them with what? With more bad. But it really is good. Good always prevails over bad. The symbolism and the symbolic representation of Ma'at are all those things as a human figure. She's seen with outstretched arms. So a picture of her right here. Feather, okay? You see all the points is straight on point, all lined up. That's what she represents. All those things, seven virtues. And she encases and captures all those. You can practice those things yourself. And what's this? She recognized by the figure with outstretched arms and wings as the prototype of the image of what? She was the first angel. You see, she got the wings. Angels got wings. Okay, that's what she represents. The ability to ascend. And you found in the wings are found in the world's major Western religion. All angels have what? Wings. Where do you get it from? Maya. The ostrich feather and the balance are also symbols. Okay, that feather don't move. It don't bend. You know, feathers are light. Anything making her feather don't move. Order, ceaselessness. Okay, all the things that she represents. That's what the feather is for. And Ma'at in the 42 precepts, she represents 7 virtues. And at the 42 admonitions, Ma'at was the guideline of correct behavior, moral conduct, and the standard against which the soul of the deceased, dead person, would be judged. Hence, at Judgment Day, you're going to go up against the feather of Ma'at. How Ma'at did you live? How virtuous did you practice the virtues of Ma'at? That's what you do. That's why I got myself together with the 42 Confessions of Ma'at. When I first read them, I wasn't even in the ballpark. Now I'm fluent in them, so I've changed. And people who live their lives according to the principles of Ma'at were guaranteed. If you live according to Ma'at, what? Afterlife was guaranteed. Why? Because you're going to be able to pass Judgment Day of the scales of Maya feather. By what? Lightening your heart. Practicing the 7 virtues of Maya keeps the heart light and selfless service, got all that. But it guarantees you what? Just reward in what? The afterlife. After the judgment of your soul, everybody's soul will be judged. Assad, the first one, he passed. And everybody after that had to pass just like him. So to get to him, you have to practice and live Maya to pass the feather judgment at the end of this life. During this life, you practice Maya. I do every day. I love it. Now, right here, we doing Halloween, right? But you see right here, this is the Greeks' concept of the wing of the soul, and they're using a man. Okay? The Greeks always added something or took away something to suit their needs, to make it theirs uniquely. So I understand that, but watch this. The divine attributes of Maya, which was passed down 10,000 years BCE, were the prime inspiration and the concept of theological idea of what? The angel from the Christian theology. Y'all didn't create nothing. Y'all borrowed, stole, and, coerced your own perspective. And that's what they call religion. I don't do religion. The 15th century, painting of St. Michael, weighing of the soul. And they keep saying the soul. We understood that the soul, the heart, was meant the soul, but they took it, didn't understand. Why? Because it's all about you, the individual, and that's where the information from the individual is stored where? In the heart, not here. Okay, this thing here is uniquely yours. Why? Because when you die, it had no more use. Okay, it got one function. For you to what? Communicate to God. That's the job of the brain, of the mind. That's why he gave it to you. And the weighing of the souls. Everybody say the soul is the heart. The heart is the soul of man. Yeah, but I hate when they do that. But it portrays the winged image of a man weighing the souls of man on the scales of judgment. Now, where did they get that from? You can't say you created it. You can't say it's your idea. You got it from us. And then you changed it. It's supposed to be a woman. Justice is represented by the female. They used the man. Change the whole concept. All right. So that's the quick story. I'm gonna stop right here because I got some more, but I would just keep going on. I gotta catch myself and try to keep it where it's going to line up. If you follow, you'll get the idea. It's good lessons. I'll be right back with some more. But right now, right thinkers in closing, may you all live to be 100. Me 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who know themselves a little bit better now have passed away. You're getting your history. You're getting your information. I'm bringing it to you. I got you. I'll be right back.